Hello, everyone. Looking at Bitcoin this afternoon. Fascinating thing I've just noticed on the Bitcoin fib extension on this zoomed out weekly chart. From the highs in December 2017, the 20 grand highs, down here to the lows in December, and then back up to the highs of last year. Look at where we are with the fibs. Look, we came down in March, tested the 618, perfectly came down and tested it. Then we've shot back up. We had trouble at the fib 236 for a while there. We were smashing into it, below it. But then recently we've gone up above it. Then we came back down, look, and tested it. And now we're going back up again. So that's a fascinating zoomed out look at a fib extension. Now I'm going to get another look at the fib, the most commonly used fib, the retracement. So I want to get rid of that first before I do anything. And I don't do it like that. So I'll get rid, but that is uncanny. The fib levels, I just want to go through that again. That's uncanny to go down perfectly to the 618 in March, bounce off it, struggle at the 236, get through it, come back down, test it, and then off we go again in the last 6 weeks. Weekly charts are fascinating. Let's have a closer look at that if you can't see it as well. Look, right down, testing that one there at around about 3,800, 3,700. Back up, banging into the 236. So we went through the Fib 50 and the 382 without too many problems last year. No, not last year, earlier this year. So in the summer, when we had that bullish trend in the altcoin market as well, Bitcoin straight through the 382, in a way similar to last year, similar to 2019, when we really powered through. As you can see last year, fascinating Fibonacci levels are incredible. This is on the fib extension last year. So this is back to May 2019, Q2. Everyone got to remember that huge rally. Well, we came up through the 382 then. We actually got halted at the Fib 50 as well. Let's get rid of my ugly mug to see what happened down here as well. Yeah, look, tests all the way on these Fibonacci levels. So it's very interesting that we came back down to test the 382. And then we trundled along. The Fibonacci's are fascinating. Let's have a look now at the retracement in all of this. So we got the big picture, the big high in 2017. Bitcoin's the mother market is the one that we need to look at. So yeah, let's have a look at that. So the fib retrace. Let's get the top there, 19.6 here on Bitstamp, down to the bottom. Along the bottom we go until we're at that fib 50 now. But look at what else is at that fib 50. Look, it's such a level of importance, this level that we're at the moment. Incredible. Look at the weekly closes and opens last June when we had that huge rally. We had that ugly gravestone doji there. Can you see that candle there? That ugly gravestone was the big one that's saying sell. And boy, I wish I'd sold. That candle there, that long, thin candle here. Have a look at that candle. I'll just point it out to you. Look at that candle there. Candles tell you so much, especially on weekly charts. So you've got that candle there, and it's got a huge wick at the top, a thin line. So what that means is the price has gone up, but the sellers have pushed it down really hard. So it's closed near where it started. So there's no body on the candle. It's up, and then it's a huge selling pressure. It'd be handy to look at the volume, actually. Let's quickly get the volume of all of that. Yeah, you can see there, look, there's high sale volume that week. There would have been buy volume as well that week. And we had the same in March. Look at the volume height in March when we had that huge sell and then buy. Volume is lower recently. Let's look right up to date. Yeah, the volume as you can see, has sort of been declining. And we've not got that many green bars yet. So I'm not majorly bullish yet. You know, when you start getting big greens like this, that's when you start getting bullish. And people, if they were buying around here, you know, when we started getting these big greens, let's have a quick look at the MACD as well. That would be interesting to see what the MACD was saying back then. I'll get rid of the volume. I don't want to confuse the screen up too much. Let's have a look at the MACD for that period. Right. I do like using the MACD as an indicator. So yeah, when it began to do this, so when in March, you know, you could buy Bitcoin for $5,000. What a steal that is. The MACD was still printing bigger red bars actually. So the indicator really flashed and changed beginning of April. I began to buy altcoins in April, and Bitcoin was still in the $6,000 price range, which was a huge point this year, last year, 2019, around December, and then back to that year, the whole of 2018, 6K was the point, was the big point. Right, so the MACD went green April 27th, my birthday, and then Bitcoin sort of consolidated once it had gone green. It sort of went sideways until mid-July, and then we went on a run again. Right, I want to have a look at that fib because I've put the fib on, but I haven't looked at it yet. Let's get rid of that MACD on my screen. So I've got the price action in full. Zoom out a little bit. So we're looking at December's lows, aren't we? December 18. So this is the big picture, highs to lows from 17. So it's the long one. There we've got that gravestone doji, which is a sell signal candle. And we came down, we skirted along that 100 moving average. I like the 100 moving average. I think it's an important one. Because look, we really used it there. And we did come below the 200 there, the 200 moving average. But yeah, the 100-week moving average on a weekly chart is an interesting one, I think, because that was low bear market low, really, of 19. When we'd been up to 14K, we came back down to the sixes. That 100-week moving average was a good point to look at. We blasted straight back through it there. We're using at the moment, on the weekly chart, we're using that 50 moving average, 50-week moving. Is that? No, that's the 20-week moving average. What am I talking about? Yeah, the 20-week moving average is a key one for when you come down. The 20-week EMA is a key one for pullbacks. So we had a pullback. We came back down. We touched it a couple of weeks there, and then we've gone above it. That's a very bullish sign. That's a very, very bullish sign because in Bitcoin in uptrends, I've spoken about this before, it's the most used one, the 21-week EMA, that you come down, test it in a pullback, and then you go rally on above it again. So when Bitcoin did that, that was very, very bullish. And now we're stuck at the Fib 50. And if you look left, always look left. Look at how important this level was in 2019. We couldn't get above it. So I thought there'd be issues around here. We had a couple of weeks above it in August this year, but we couldn't stay above it. It's a key area because we could zoom out even further and have a look at it back here. Wow. I love big picture charts. Look at it here. Key point here. In February 18, we came up, tested it, back down. We were testing it in January 2018. So that Fib 50 is a real key. It wasn't a Fib 50 then because, of course, we're losing these lows down here. But that 11K mark is a key mark. I think also I was looking at the Fib extension earlier and showing you bars that were before the use of the second point in the. So ignore that. But I'm just saying levels here. These levels are key levels because they've been used a lot. You always look left to find out information. So there's Bitcoin on a weekly chart. At the moment, we've got a bit of a spinning top candle, but the big point of this is 11,281. Let's go on a shorter time frame. I think we're looking at the hourly chart now, so a much shorter time frame. Let's get rid of that fib. And let's have a look where we are. The 20 moving average is a key one. And at the moment, we're below it. It's important when you get above that, that's bullish. We're below it at the moment, but the 11,281 is the key. That we need to look for. So, like you can see there, the importance of this level here. This level here at 11,400. It's been resistance, strong resistance. And then we blasted through it, came back down, and then we went below it again, and then it was resistance again, got above it, playing around now at that level. And it'll be interesting to see if we can get above that 20. Where's the 20? Yeah, the 20 is this one here. So the 20. Once you get above that, it's bullish on a shorter term chart. Right. So that's Bitcoin really. I could take you to the daily chart, and we could have a look at the CMF and things like that, because that's always important. But I wanted to keep this video quite short and sweet, really. Let's just have a look at a fib here. So we'll look at a fib on the hourly chart. Right, where's the relevant fib? I think it's there where this rally started here. I think that's the relevant point of putting a fib. So we'll go from bottom to top. And look, we've come down, tested the 382, bounced quite strongly above it. That's the figure. The 2, yeah, the 11, yep, that's the figure. I knew I had 11,281 in my mind. That's where it's from. It's that 382 from the beginning of this rally here, which is the same point as that there. This is from 8th of October at 10 o'clock. And yeah, so that 382 below there, because look, it tested it there on the 12th at midday. And look how many times it's bounced off it. That is the key point. Bitcoin closes today's chart below 11,277, 11,282 I had earlier. So maybe my measurements are not quite accurate. So Bitcoin closes today below 11,277. There could be a bearish reversal, and this could be a head and shoulders. This could be a neckline of a head and shoulders. Bitcoin closes the daily above 11,277. We're still in bullish territory. But I wouldn't say we're going to 12K. I'd say we need to get out of this sideways. We need to blast through this high here, this 11,730. Once that's passed and a daily candle closed above 11,730, we're back in business for the bulls. That's how I see Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the mother market. Let's have another look at the daily, the CMF on the daily. I find that the CMF is a great indicator of distribution in buyers and sellers. It tells you, and the moving averages, look, the 100 moving average, a lot of people don't use the 100. They'll use the 20, the 50, and the 200. I think the 100 is a key. But look at how Bitcoin has used it as support. Yeah, it dripped below on the 23rd of September, but then it come and it tested it, and it really is a key moving average. We're above all the moving averages. This has just gone above the 50, which is a bullish crossover, but it's been met with bearish price action in the last 2 days. But that's a bullish sign when the 20 crosses the 50. That means they're all lined up in order. You've got the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200, all in order. Ow. Ow. I've been stood up, and it's brilliant. Standing up is fantastic for the way your body feels rather than sitting down. It's amazing. It's done me the world of good. Right, let's have a look at the CMF. CMF's an interesting one. Oh, I think it's bullish. I think a daily as well on the daily candle. We were bullish there when we went up to 12.4 in August, and we're not far off it now. I mean, bearish in CMF is below zero, and we've had times where Bitcoin has been in a bullish position and it's been way below zero. Last year we had, so this is back earlier this year, but we're higher than we were in, I suppose we are higher in price action as well. We are quite high in the CMF. If I zoom out a bit, let me shrink it down a little bit, but stretch that up. As you can see, we went way below zero there. Our highs this year were 31, and that was when Bitcoin was priced at 11.4, so similar to now. It's quite bullish. What about on a weekly chart? Because a weekly CMF is also good. Well, I will have a look at 3-day. Oh, we're below zero on the 3-day. That's interesting. What about on a week? Okay. Yeah, we're above zero. We went very high in the CMF last year on the weekly chart, and that was very bullish, but then we soon sunk. Sometimes this can be the most fantastic indicator of how the market's playing. It really can, and it can tell you when the market's changed and you need to sell. Like, for example, yeah, it sunk there. When it sinks without the price moving much, then you know there's something playing, there's something going on, you need to sell. There, in April 18, the price of Bitcoin went right back up, but the CMF remained below zero. So that's telling you there's not much oomph in the distribution in the market. That's what I find. I find it a great indicator for that sort of stuff. I really do. And let's have a look. We had highs here. Turn it down a little bit. There, you can see the CMF went really high there. When's that? Yeah, I was saying about this. This is the big indicator on the CMF. The beginning of April 19, we'd been down to the depths of despair in Bitcoin. We'd been down, and then by this date here, by the 21st of March, well, a little bit, 1st of April, the CMF had risen to 42, but the Bitcoin price was 3,992. What an indicator. That was telling you to buy, and look what happened to the price of Bitcoin. Let's grab that arrow. Look, we're talking here. When that was at a high, look at what happened. It went flying upwards. That was telling you that the distribution was bullish. That's what the CMF does. And then we went right up there to 14,000 nearly, and the CMF was topping up at 38. And then suddenly it dropped dramatically. But the price, look, on the 8th of July, the price of Bitcoin was still 12K, but we'd had a huge drop in the CMF. So that was a signal. That was a real good signal. And then here, it went below zero in July. Here, Bitcoin was price of 11,120. So it's just over 11K, but the CMF was down low, very low compared to what it was up here. So it's telling you that the distribution wasn't bullish. It was getting bearish. And then we rallied in August. It went back up. I find it is a very good thing to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the CMF, especially on a daily chart. To be honest, on a daily chart, it's the best. And at the moment, it's bullish in the CMF. We've come down slightly in the last 2 days, but we're quite high up in the CMF at the moment. And let's see what we're as high as we were when it was 12.5K. Let's see what we're doing in that. Right, my video's finished. I plan to do a short video. I've ended up doing 20 minutes. I hope you enjoy, folks. Take care.